Mel Robbins is a motivational speaker, podcast host, and author best known for The 5-Second Rule, a book that has sold over 3 million copies worldwide and has been translated into 40+ languages. She went from being $800,000 in debt, unemployed, and unable to get out of bed due to anxiety and depression to building a global personal brand and business in the 8 figures.
Need motivation?
You better watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
If you've been here before, drop a hashtag Believe in the comments below so I can feature you here in a future video. And if you're new, welcome to Believe Nation, the only channel that helps you believe in yourself daily, one video at a time. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Figure out the how.
I believe in the limitless possibility of human beings. I really do. Yeah. I believe that what is in your way is you. What is in your way is despair. See, if somebody isn't changing, it's not because they can't. It's because they don't believe that it's going to work, or they don't believe that it's going to matter. And that was me. Like, I got to the point where I didn't feel like anything was going to work because the hole was so big. So why bother? And to answer your question, the reason why you can be well educated or smart and do stupid things is because knowledge is kind of cheap. Everybody knows what to do. Everybody. The person that's watching this video right now or listening to this podcast, they know exactly what to do to be healthier, to get out of debt, to achieve their goals. And if you don't know what to do, go to ChatGTP, write down what you want, and say, give me the day-to-day plan for 6 months that I should do. Tell me the 5 things. You will get a menu of things to follow. Just like the NFL coach gives you the plays that you're going to practice and practice and practice. There are the things to do. So knowledge tells you what to do and why. That is very different than how. How do you make yourself apply the knowledge when you don't feel motivated? How do you make yourself do the things that you know you need to do to get out of debt or to achieve your goals? I mean, you have so many people come on this show and they talk about their story of going from down here to up here. They are giving you the formula. That's knowledge. That's all that knowledge is. You got to do something different, which is how. How do you push yourself when you don't feel motivated, when you've told yourself you're a loser, when you say that it's not going to work, where other people have said that you've screwed up? How do you do it then? That is what separates people who stay really low from people who figure out how to climb out of that hole.
Rule number 2 is be honest.
I'm not afraid to be the villain. And the reason why is I'm not interested in being smart. I'm interested in being useful. And if I can save anybody the heartache I've caused myself or the pain I've caused myself or other people, that's an incredible way to live your life. And for me, I spent so long hiding who I was and being embarrassed by my mistakes. People always say, oh my God, you're so vulnerable. I'm like, I don't think it's vulnerable to talk about what's actually happening. It's way harder to lie and to carry things on your own. Because when you carry it silently, it has so much weight.
Number 3, do the difficult thing.
One of the things that I've learned recently by having some of these world-class psychiatrists and experts come on my show is this saying that I'll never forget, and I'm sure this will resonate with you, is that people only get sober when being drunk is harder than facing the things you're running from. It is a fundamental part of human nature that pain is part of what's necessary to organize the friction inside yourself to push yourself to change. Because we are wired to move towards what's easy. We're wired to move towards what feels good. That's why we sit on the couch instead of going for a run. That's why we scroll on social media instead of working on a business plan. That's why we watch your podcast and my podcast instead of starting our own. It's easier. In order to change, you have to accept a fundamental truth. You are going to have to do something that's very difficult now in order for life to be easier later. And we're not wired that way. And so there is a certain amount of pain that is required inside of a human being in order for you to want to push yourself.
Rule number 4, make your own way.
You know, and I also come from entrepreneurs. So my grandparents are cattle farmers and hog farmers and own machine shops. And my other grandparents owned a small bakery. My dad was not only an orthopedic surgeon, but he invested in PT clinics. My mom had a little retail store and sold, like, had a kitchen gourmet kind of store. And so I just grew up in a family where it was in the blood system. Yeah. That you can do your own thing. And then I became a lawyer, and I got to tell you something. You know,
why a lawyer too? After
oh my
all
God.
of that?
Okay, well, that's a long story, but basically, I had no idea what to do with my life. So I attached myself like one of those fish that attaches itself to a shark, and just followed whoever I was dating to whatever they were doing. And so I ended up going to law school because out of college I got a temp job, and the first place they put me was a law firm. And I didn't know what to do with my life. I hated that job, but my boyfriend was applying to get a PhD in economics, and everybody around me was applying to law school. And so I just kind of jumped into that current thinking I could do something else. But then the current of where you are takes you on to the next thing, and you can slide into the next thing. And I want to tell you something. I am the world's lousiest employee. I am built to be a business owner. If you're the kind of person that resents someone who's paying you to do a job, then you should make your own way and figure out a business for yourself. I was the kind of person that was looking for every way to leave before 5. I would put my coat on my chair at the law firm and go out for lunch, and I'd spin my computer around so nobody could see that I wasn't still in the office. Oh, I am the worst. Yes, because I didn't like it.
Also, if you want to take real action after this video, I made a free worksheet just for you. It covers the top lessons from today, gives you space to write your biggest takeaways, and helps you build a simple action plan. It's 100% free. Just click the link in the description to go grab it. I'll see you there. Rule number 5, don't rely on motivation.
Motivation, complete and utter garbage. It's garbage. It is. I think it's a joke that I'm called a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
Because motivation is garbage. Because here's what motivation is, you guys. Motivation, Fred, is just feeling like doing something. And when you have to push yourself to change, or to take a risk, or to break a bad habit, or to change the way that you talk to yourself, or the way that you're going to show up in your life, or you're going to address some things in your life that haven't been working, you are never going to feel like doing it. And what I learned the hard way is that we're just, as human beings, not wired to do things that are painful or hard or new. The human body is wired to repeat patterns. And so, you know, when I think a lot about the NFL, for example, or your guys' past, and a lot of what you talk about on your show, you're a gifted athlete. So you have natural gifts and talents that you worked at and worked at and worked at and worked at. And when you are playing on a team, the conditions for success and motivation are actually outsourced. You have a team, you have a coach, you have payment, you have other players. You want to make sure that you stay on that team. And so all of that is provided for you. Yes, you have to show up. Yes, you still have to do the work. Yes, you still have to train very hard. Yes, you still have to push yourself. But have you noticed that as soon as you leave a team and that structure disappears, it's very difficult to do the same level of pushing for yourself.
Rule number 6, do an experiment.
All these little experiments that you can do while you're employed, because you need to be responsible, you need to pay your bills. The worst thing you can do is quit too soon and put stress on the thing that you are starting, is do an experiment and really put yourself in a micro way in the thing that you think you want, and you will feel immediately whether it's for you or not for you. And so, you know, back to kind of the core story, I just continued to kind of bounce from one tech company to another. I then hired a coach because I felt like I was all over the place to help me figure out what to do. This would have been 2001. And this coach said, you know, because you're a lawyer and because you've now got this .com experience and because you are crazy intuitive, I think you'd be a great coach. Why don't you let me train you? And so in 2003, I started coaching people. I basically said I work with successful people who feel stuck. And I started doing it on the side. This is how bad of an employee I was. You ready? So I was working for another tech firm. I would literally tell my boss, oh my God, I would tell my boss that I was going to take a call in the conference room. And I would be in there coaching somebody on the phone who was paying me $75 an hour.
That's incredible.
And then what I did is I so badly wanted to get out of that job, but I couldn't afford to. And so here's how I did the math. If you're currently straddling something and you're just like, okay, when do I make the leap? When do I make the leap? You want to create a math equation for yourself that is tied to your psychology. And what I said is, if I can land 10 clients at $75 an hour, and if I can have those 10 clients pay me consistently, so every single week I'm making $750 on the side, at night, in the mornings, hiding in a conference room while I'm lying to my boss, like, you got to do what you got to do. If I can do that consistently for 4 months, then I can quit my job, because I have now demonstrated that I am able to maintain that. And it's not now luck. I've demonstrated something to myself that I'm willing to count on. And that's what happened.
Rule number 7, know your worth.
Self-worth. I gave myself a 9 because, I've done the work. One of the reasons why I think what we talk about really resonates with you is that it's real. I didn't read this in some book, and now I'm curating it for you. This is all stuff that we've tried, that has been road tested, that has been earned through the ups and downs of life. And I also offer up everything that I say to you, not as a mandate, even though sometimes I'm incredibly passionate about what I'm saying, but I offer it up as something for you to consider. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. And you get to choose how you want to live it. You get to choose whether or not you're going to suffer through it. You get to choose whether or not you're going to be happy through it. You get to choose whether or not you're going to continue to live with the stories from your past, or whether or not you're going to update them and change for the better. Because you're the one that will reap the benefits or suffer the consequences. And so any passion comes from the fact that I used to be a miserable person. I used to hate myself. I used to destroy relationships because of my own self-loathing. And I still have some work to do. I was talking to Tara, a very good friend of ours, who is also my favorite yoga instructor. And she was talking today about how she just felt really sad. And I was saying to her, I can relate to that, because while I'm very fulfilled, I feel disconnected. And I still have parts of my life where I don't like myself. And I think that's normal. And there are parts of my life where I still have armor up. And this is the year, even though I've spent a decade really digging deep and curing my anxiety and identifying the limiting beliefs that I have, and trying to be deliberate about updating the story that I have, that I tell myself about myself, and that I don't deserve it, that nobody likes me, that I'm not doing a good job, that at some point this is all going to disappear, that, I don't matter. All those just crappy things that you say to yourself. And so I've done a lot of work. And so while my self-worth is at a 9, I'm very proud of the work, I still have a lot of work to do. And so this is going to be a year where I go deeper. And what does that mean? I don't know yet. It probably means that I think I'd like to try to find a therapist. I think it'd be really cool, especially as I'm taking on all these things that are more confronting. It means that I want to do more listening. I'm going to do a lot of talking, but a little less talking and a little more listening. I want to consume more content instead of being focused on creating it. That's been a big missing for me is, I stand up on a lot of stages and speak. I'd like to sit in an audience and listen here and there, and be more deliberate about my own development, because there's still a lot that I got to learn. And as we create, as we take on new challenges in this company, and again, what direction does life go in? Forward. And as life goes forward, and as our business goes forward, and as opportunities come and they go, and as some things are successful and some things are a disaster, it's going to require me to go deeper. And so that's what I'm going to be deliberate about. So my body, micro exercise. My work is about a digital focus. My money is about socking money away personally and about also diversifying income streams business-wise. My love life is being more deliberate, so a date a week with Chris. He has the flu right now, so I'm not going near him. It's not going to happen today. Friendships, being a better friend, and my self-worth going deeper.
Rule number 8, do it anyway.
Do it anyway is a mindset trick that you can use when you start to feel excuses rolling up. It works a lot like the 5-second rule. So you have said to yourself, okay, I'm going to talk to my boss today about that thing that I've been avoiding talking to them about. Or maybe you've said something like, I'm going to go to the gym today or tomorrow or whatever. And then the moment comes where you've got to have that conversation. Or the moment comes where it's time to pack up your bag and leave your desk and go to the gym. And what always happens? You don't feel like it. I bet there are plenty of you watching that have made a commitment that, I'm not going to have a drink tonight. And then guess what happens when you get home? You don't feel like not drinking. You feel like having a drink. And so here's what do it anyway has done for me. The idea that I just do it anyway has pushed me to realize and to recognize that there are a lot of moments where there are things in my life that I really want to do, I need to do, I should do, but when the moment comes, I don't feel like it. And so I pull out this idea of, you know what, I'm just going to do it anyway. It's raining outside. I said I would go for a short run. I don't feel like it. I'm going to do it anyway. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. It's cold. I laid out my yoga clothes, but now I don't feel like it. What do? I do it anyway. When you start to say to yourself, I'm going to do it anyway, what happens is something really cool. You acknowledge that there are feelings that you have that are trying to swoop in and hijack you. You acknowledge them and you basically say, guess what? I'm going to do it anyway.
Rule number 9, stop playing small.
It's okay to be comfortable. It's not okay to be small. Being too small in life, telling yourself that you should be small, that, it's okay, that's the number one issue. Shrinking yourself. You see, for the last couple of years, every single January, I have taught a course about the science of dreaming. And not just dreaming, but dreaming big. And dreaming big as a way to create a whole new chapter in your life, a way to tap into your potential. And more than 200,000 people around the world have taken this Science of Dreaming course with me. And here's the number one thing that I noticed after teaching this course over and over and over again to people around the world. It's that telling yourself that you're small, putting a lid on your own dreams, on your own potential, convincing yourself that meh is okay, that's the biggest problem. If you're somebody who doesn't know what you want, I guarantee you it's because you do things that make you feel small, and then you tell yourself that's okay. And here's the thing that I'm really worried about. I'm worried about the fact that if you continue to do this, if you continue to tell yourself, I don't know what I want, I can never have it, I'm 46, I tried, it's hard, it's not going to work out for me. If you are the one that is against your big dreams in life, that is the reason why you're unhappy. That you are the single biggest, loudest voice for why you can't have what you deserve. That is the source of misery. That is the source of feeling lost. And so we got to stop that right now. Because the fact is, I don't care how long you've worked on your dreams, how long you've avoided your dreams, how long you've been scared of your dreams, how long you've downplayed your dreams. Those dreams are still very much alive inside of you. You're not supposed to be small. You're not supposed to be arguing against your dreams. Let other people do that. You're the one who's supposed to have the biggest and the loudest and the brightest voice when it comes to the matter of your dreams.
And number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is Reinvent Your Life.
I like to think about life as one long road trip. Every year of your life is a mile marker on the road of life. And the thing about this road trip is it's a solo journey. You started at mile 0 and you were alone. That's how you came into this world. And wherever the road of your life leads you, when you leave this world, you're going to be alone. When you leave. Yes, you'll be surrounded by family and friends, but when you actually pass over, you are on your own. And the truth is, it is a solo journey. Yes, you're going to drive parallel with some people. Yes, you're going to intersect with some people. Yep, you're going to travel in packs, but you are driving alone. And look, I'm not telling you this to make you feel isolated or unsupported. That's the last thing that I want you to feel. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I want you to understand the power that you have to make these dreams part of your day-to-day life as you pursue them. I mean, maybe you've been so worried about what everybody else is going to think, and that's what's kept you from starting your YouTube channel or writing that screenplay or making a career change. I'm here to tell you, no one gives a shit about what you do. You want to know why? Because everybody else is driving their own car on their own solo journey, and they're busy trying to figure out their own life. When you realize that the only person who is truly judging you right now is you, when you embrace that you're the one in your way, it can spark a fire in your gut. Yes, it sucks that my friend has been telling herself for 20 years that she's not a real writer, that she's not a respected writer, that it's not that interesting. Yeah, that sucks to wake up and realize that you're the one that's been dragging yourself down. But you want to know what sucks more? Spending another 20 years never writing it. So step 1, you have to acknowledge the thing that's on your list and that's in your heart. And then step 2 is take responsibility for doing whatever you can, however you're capable, in whatever big or small way, to move toward it. Get serious about looking ahead instead of looking back, looking out the window in front of you at the road ahead and where you want to go. You can inch your way day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, to creating a whole new life for yourself. Everybody that struggles with addiction does this exact same thing. Tomorrow, I'm not drinking. That's it. I'm done with this. And then the next morning, it's the same pattern of negative crap that you're doing to yourself. And this is exactly what you talk about all the time. It's not the what you need to do, it's how. How do you make yourself do the things that feel hard or scary or don't seem like they're going to work because you're resigned and you're stuck in your patterns? That was me. I knew I needed to get out of bed. I knew I needed to stop drinking. I knew I needed to look for a job. I knew this wasn't Chris's fault and I needed to stop screaming at him all the time, but I wasn't doing any of those things. I didn't know how. And so this was the moment I created the 5-second rule. And again, this is another I-beam or T-beam or whatever the hell beam it's called. I'm sitting in front of the television and I am watching TV. The kids are in bed and I'm drinking bourbon and I'm probably on like my 4th Manhattan and I'm having my nightly pep talk and I'm going, that's it. Tomorrow morning, it's the new me. I got to wake up. I got to do this. I got to do the other thing. And all of a sudden, Rich, honest to goodness, I see a rocket ship launch at the end of a commercial. And I go, that's it. Tomorrow morning, I'm launching myself out of bed like a rocket. And that was the beginning of the 5-second rule.
And congratulations, you're one video closer to who you're meant to be. Believe. For 10 more amazing rules from James Clear, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Most people, so if we kind of layer on the things we're talking about here, so we've got you have a certain kind of lifestyle that you'd like to live day to day, but you also make these promises to yourself and you realize delayed gratification and investing in the long term